Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And today, or this morning rather, it's the morning for me, but for those of you on the East Coast, it is approaching 1 p.m. But here in Cali, it's still the morning for me, and I'm saddened to bring the news that DMX has officially passed. There was a lot of inconsistent reports of people false reporting before it was time, and we kind of discussed that last night of people like prematurely saying it and things like that. But it has now been officially confirmed that he has officially passed away. So, I just wanted to open up the chat for anybody who wants to speak to his legacy or, speak to, you know, whatever they feel like outside of conspiracy theories. Um, I'm not going to entertain conspiracy theories. I don't want to entertain wild conversations about all kind of stuff like that. But if you were a DMX fan and you want to speak about, how you feel in this moment, I definitely have opened up the floor to do so. So this is TMZ reporting, and it says, DMX dead at 50. DMX has died a week after suffering an overdose, TMZ has learned. TMZ broke the story. X virtually had no brain function after he was deprived of oxygen for nearly 30 minutes following his OD. Brain function never returned, and by Thursday, his organs began failing while he remained on life support in a New York hospital. Many people in X's family were at the hospital over the last week, including his mom, fiance, and many of his kids. A rep for his family tells TMZ, "We are deeply saddened to announce today that our loved one DMX, birth name of Earl Simmons, passed away at 50 years old at White Plains Hospital with his family by his side after being placed on life support for the past few days. Earl was a warrior who fought to the very end." The statement continues, "He loved his family with all his heart, and we cherish the times we spent with him. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever. We appreciate all of the love and support during this incredibly difficult time." And then the family asks to respect their privacy as they grieve the loss of their brother, father, uncle, and the man the world knew as DMX. We will share information about his memorial service once details are finalized. Okay, and then it talks about, how he got his start and things like that. Star,
I'm here.
hi. What are your
Hi,
thoughts?
Neek. I'm
Hi.
sad. I just finished wiping my face. I'm crying. Um, I've been a fan since before the world knew who DMX was. I'm from New York. Um, he's also a friend of a very dear friend of mine. So I had been in some circles with him and his former wife, and I knew firsthand the struggles that he went through. And I think this is especially hard because we just saw him looking so healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And we were rejoicing at the fact that he had overcome and he looked so well and he looked so happy. And people don't understand that some people really didn't have a choice to be on drugs.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah. Are you there?
It was mind blowing. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, well, he was on drugs. It's not like we didn't expect this, or well, you live a life like that." But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. That man has 15
Yeah.
children. He has 15 children.
I mean, even if you live a life like that, like, there, like, this obviously isn't a joking matter, but there are people who, they pass jokes and they say, like, you know, especially like when COVID had hit, they were like, I see, all of the people passing away, but the people who have been doing drugs for years, like, you still see them alive and kicking. And, because a lot of people, just because they do drugs doesn't mean that they are just perishing out here
That's
like
right.
that.
That's
And
right.
like the people that you see, like, you've seen the same person at the corner store sometimes for your whole life. Like,
Yes.
so that's
Some
all.
people can endure,
Yeah.
those lifelong struggles. I understand what people are saying, like, you never know with the weakening of your heart, with everything you've done in the past, it catches up with you. I get that,
Mhm.
but everything doesn't have to be that. That man struggled. I don't expect anybody that didn't know him or know people that knew him to understand the struggle that he went to. And some people just dismiss people who were addicted to drugs. But I heard from some close sources that this was not an overdose. And this is not coming from the news or anything. I heard from some people that this was not an overdose.
Mhm.
So either way, I'm gonna miss him. Legend, rest king. I really am. I really am. This is really sad. This is a really sad day for me.
Yeah, it's a
But
sad
that's it.
for hip hop in
Yeah.
general. Like, he means a lot to so many, and not just because he is a rapper or a very talented person. It's just,
It was more than that.
he represented a lot of people in our families. Like, he
He
represented,
did.
like, I have uncles battling addiction. I have uncles who have passed from battling addiction. I have, he
We got
represented,
family. Yes, I
yeah, he
understand.
represented like people in our family, people who we can relate to. And he was just a relatable all around,
Absolutely.
real person. So he is
X was
definitely
so
going
relatable. He was
to
so
be.
relatable to people. I don't care what struggles he's been through. And I know some personal things about him. And I know how I feel about some of those things that happened. But I'm going to tell you, I never looked at him like, like, oh, he was the worst person in the world. Because that man had a spirituality about him that was unprecedented. Okay. He was so real that when he was doing the movie, that he was doing the one with the Leah, he wouldn't let them put any makeup on him.
Mhm.
He said, I don't care. They said, look, you're going to be on the HD screen and this is a movie. This is a real film. And he was like, I don't wear no makeup. Like, he was just so authentically himself and never tried to be anything else, even when he was getting high and high. You know what I'm saying? He was always there. And I'm going to tell you something about that man. That man will give you the shirt off his back. Because when my friend died at age 29, he paid for her funeral, he paid for her burial, and he took care of her mother. And
Mhm.
he wasn't even her friend. That was a friend to his wife. You know what I'm saying? He always gave. He gave back. He gave back. It might not have always been reported, but he always gave back. Even with his struggles, he always gave back. So I ain't gonna keep you too long, but
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
letting me come through. And everybody pray for his family. Remember he got 15 children out here and grandchildren.
Yeah, but they're all gonna be taken care of. You better believe that.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, they're
absolutely.
definitely gonna be taken care of. He has a lot of love in the industry, and
Yep.
he has an album that he was working on,
Yep.
and he has things in the works that his family will definitely be more than taken care
It's
of.
a shame sometimes posthumously we are worth more than we are alive. But yeah. So thanks, Neek. Love your YouTube channel too. Thank you. I'm always in the bushes.
Okay, thank you for coming on. I
You're
appreciate.
welcome. Bye bye.
Shy.
Hi. Bruh, this hurts my soul in so many different ways. I grew up listening to this man back in the nine nines. You know what I'm saying? My brother whole rapping style is because of Dark Man X. You know what I'm saying? He's done so much for the community, but we also have to and we know that he was human. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had struggles and he had demons. That man was an angel for real, but he had a lot of demons on him that just brought him down to where he couldn't fly like he should have. You know what I'm saying? He touched me at any time that I feel like I'm slipping and I fall and I can't get up. I go to that song because you can hear the pain in his voice when he was like, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling, and I can't get up. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. He slipped, he fell, he couldn't get up. And who was there to help him? Who? He always gave back. He always did for everybody, but who was there to help him when he fell? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to say that because I mean there was apparent people that did step in and help him. I feel like Swiss Beats did try to help him, so I don't want to run the narrative because he unfortunately slipped up that nobody tried to help him, because I think that would be false. I think that would be very false because it's up to the individual. And I have been a DMX fan since I was in middle school. Like, that is one of my all-time favorite people, but I'm not going to shift the blame on people, because I think, like, in death, right, a lot of people look for somebody to blame, like it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. And unfortunately, it's just an unfortunate situation that somebody who was an old mentor hooked him onto this substance, and it was a battle that it was hard to shake. But I don't want to run the narrative that nobody tried to help him. I feel like that's kind of, I don't think that that's right, because when it comes to people who are battling addiction and things like that, it's ultimately up to the person to, do it. And you could be doing so good. You can go 5 years clean, 10 years clean, and it could just be a trigger that can, snap, and people could have been helping you. So I don't want anybody else to come on here and like try to shift the blame game. Like, if we want to pay our respects to
right. I'm not trying to shift the blame. I'm just saying, like, if he had a stronger support system.
But you don't know his support system. You can't say that he didn't have a strong support system. Just like that's not true. You can have the strongest support system and you can still fall victim to your battle of addiction. So I don't like when people say, like, well, these people should have did this, or these people, like, that's not how addiction works.
I truly and totally understand that. What I'm saying is, we all know that it was on X. You know what I'm saying? Like, he chose it, but also sometimes people just feel like they don't have everything that they need. Like, his was carrying trauma from back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never got over the trauma that he was going through as a child, and that's another reason why he could have stayed on drugs, because, you know what I'm saying, you don't just take drug one time and then all of a sudden you're addicted. That it don't work like that. Well, maybe it does, but you know what I'm saying? You have to keep going back to that. You gotta keep going back to that. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing good. It's very unfortunate. That's basically what I'm saying. It's very, very unfortunate. It's not right. And
yeah, your sound is going out.
I'm about to hold on. Somebody's calling. But I just feel like his legs spread out more. Like, he was a drug addict. So
I'm not sure what you guys are talking about in the comments, saying that I'm not allowing people to be sad. She can be sad, but on my platform, I'm not going to entertain a conversation of the blame game. Like, I'm not trying to anybody not be sad, but I have a right to entertain what conversation I want to. And I'm not going to agree or allow the blame game to happen in this situation. I think that's unfair, and I don't think that that's right, in my opinion. So if you feel like I'm not allowing people to be sad, then you can clearly click off, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just not going to shift blame on people, and we don't know who reached out to him, who supported him. Like, we don't know that. So that's not me saying you can't be sad. I'm sad. Like, I'm tore up about DMX. Like, that's like my all-time favorite person. But I'm not going to Well, if that's what it sounds like, I'm sorry that your comprehension doesn't meet my words or whatever. If that's what it sounds like, that I'm
No,
trying to make people not be
you're
sad.
right. And saying what you're saying. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking from what I'm seeing. I know that this man was a great man. He had problems. He took drugs. His body couldn't handle it. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he had support. We don't know if he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm assuming, right? I really am assuming. But what I know from what I can see is that this man was loved by a lot of people. His fans, everybody loved him. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of dumb shit in his whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that he had to go out this way. That's why I'm upset because I had drug addicts in my family. You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke cigarettes, a cold turkey 3.5 years ago. So yeah, it's hard. But when you put your mind to something for real, you can overcome it. You know what I'm saying? He had demons he couldn't overcome. And the proof is in the pudding in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And Neek, you didn't say nothing wrong. You have your opinion, I have mine, and you were right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of support he has. You're doing the right thing by telling me by not checking me, but saying, "Hey, hold up, you don't know." That's true. I think that's 1,000. That's totally real. I think more people should do that. You know what I'm saying, and not just go with the flow. Because yeah, I misspoke, but I just feel like and it's my opinion. You know what I mean, but you're right. We don't know what type of support, and I can't sit there and say that because I don't know his family. I just know from what I see, and that's the problem. People are making assumptions on what they see all the time when there's private stuff in the background that nobody gets to see and nobody speaks on. So you're totally right, and I'm sad because like he's an icon. Like this man, we grew up with this man. You know what I'm saying? Like he raised a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, 80, 90 babies with his music. You know what I'm saying? Like if nobody even know, my brother, he used to put on DMX to the Rugrats and turn down the sound on the Rugrats. It looked like Chucky and them is rapping DMX. Like it's crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get off your platform. I know I'm probably taking too much time, but Meek, I appreciate you and keep doing what you're doing. We don't care about what everybody got to say.
Oh
I'm the
yeah,
one.
you already know. But thank you so much for
You
always
welcome.
coming on my lives and just sharing whatever the topic is or whatever.
No problem.
Just,
It's all good. You can't make everybody happy, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Haters are gonna hate, players are gonna play, whatever, whatever. But keep doing what you're doing. I salute you, black woman. Keep doing what you're doing. Say what you say, and always keep it real. That's all I ask.
yeah, thank you so
All right.
much. All right, bye bye. Um, uh, Bianca.
Hey
Bianca?
Nick, how you doing? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Um, this this really hit home for me because a few years ago I had a cousin who died from an overdose,
Yeah.
and like she she quit. You know what I'm saying? She quit. She got the help or whatever. But it's like once she found out she had cancer, she ended up relapsing. So it's just like it's I don't know. It's crazy. And like you told the other girl you was talking to, you can't say, oh, if he had more support, it'd have been easier because we don't know the support that he had. And I know firsthand dealing with addiction, that's not an easy thing. I almost was an alcoholic. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily for me, like I had the examples around me to make me want to stop the drinking. Because I had an uncle who died from drinking. So it's not as easy as just getting off of the drugs as everybody thinks. And everybody don't have a strong support system. And it was easy for her to get because her sons and her nephews sold the shit. So it was really easy for her to get
Just no,
the
no
shit,
cursing
you know?
though. No cursing.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was easy for her to get it. So just saying get off drugs, like it ain't that easy. And people don't know what a person deal with and battle with on an everyday basis. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just sad. But I don't like the fact that people was clout chasing and making this man dead before he was even dead. Like I'm mad about that.
Yeah.
Everybody want to do stuff for likes and views and clicks. Be you, and you will get likes, views, and clicks. Oh no, it's sad because I grew up listening to him in the '90s, and I have older brothers and sisters, so that's who they listen to. So like, I don't know, it's just sad, and it's crazy because this is really the only celebrity death that actually affected me. Well, besides Michael Jackson, but it's just crazy. I try not to attach myself to celebrities because
Mm-hmm.
people tend to put celebrities on this high pedestal like they not human themselves, like they not gonna make mistakes. Then when they make mistakes, it's oh, we thought you was this, we thought you was that. When in reality, I'm just human like everybody else. I got fame, I got money, I got clout. That's the only difference.
Yeah, that's it.
Whew, I got a banging headache.
Yeah. Rebel.
Then I done actually seen
What's good?
drug overdoses. Like I done seen a person OD in front of me. Like that's not a good sight to see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I had to say.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Bianca.
you're welcome. I'm gonna continue to support you, and I ordered something from you too. I'm waiting on my order to come, but
All right, when it comes, send me pictures.
okay.
All right, thank you. Rebel.
Hey, what's good, Nick?
Okay.
All right, thanks for letting me come. I just want to say a few words, man. Like I said the other day when you had a live about DMX, man. This one right here hits hard, man. Cause like I said, he got me through a lot of like dark times and stuff when in my life when I was really going through it, man. And like he's one of those last stuff like that. He's not last, but like that small number of rappers from back in the days. Nick, remember how hard it was for to even become a rapper back in
Yeah,
the days? Nope.
definitely had to, like, it wasn't as easy as a viral TikTok or whatever. Like, you actually had to have talent. You
You
actually had to, like,
exactly, and that's when the record labels would actually develop the artist. But DMX didn't need none of that, man. He just came in like a firestorm and just like after Pac and Biggie had died, hip hop was kind of dying. Nobody was really listening to people. Wu Tang and all the other people, they were still out there, but they weren't really doing nothing big like that. And it was just a few artists. And DMX was one of those ones that came through 95, 96, and just murdered like 96 and just murdered everything. And he brought back life to hip hop, man. And I'm telling you, man, like it's just certain rappers that are in a certain class and it's like we, you know what I'm saying? It's just tough, man. This one right here, this one hits hard, man. Like I say, I was around when I was a big Pop fan, and when Pop died, it hit me hard. But this one hit me harder, man, because I don't know, like this man, the stuff that he was saying in his raps and stuff, people was really going through,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, man. Like I say, the rap game wasn't really saturated back then. It was only a few, and especially if you had somebody from your area or something like that was really big. But if you had one that could really relate to you, like DMX was a worldwide like artist. He wasn't just a person that you could just feel because you're from New York or Cali or United States. Like this man did a show, I think in Brazil somewhere, and the man had like 1 million people, man. Like 1 million people putting up
You talking
X
about
and
Woodstock?
yeah, the Woodstock, man. Like that's crazy. I mean, as far as your eye can see, it was people like rapping his words word for word, and they probably don't even speak English, man. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Adrian?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, um, I think we just need to have a little bit more compassion. That what the other lady was saying earlier about him not having the support system, and I know she cleared it up before, but I just want to say a lot of us, especially that are in our 30s now, we 80s babies, we grew up in this whole crack era thing when all that was really hitting and devastating our families. And when you're dealing with somebody that's in the throes of addiction, you can have all the support you want, but if they're not ready, they're just not ready. And I think we all remember that episode of Iyanla when she tried to help him, and she even said like his family was reaching out, his kids was crying.
Your sound went out.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Your sound went out again.
It's probably the earpiece.
Yeah, I think you got to take your headphone out. We can't hear you.
They probably still connected.
Come out and come back in.
But
Unhook your headphones, come out and come back in.
I totally understand what she's saying though, because when people, I
I just
remember
don't
I
like
read
when people try to blame family members
you
when
can't.
like I'm like nobody could. I have family members who are battling addiction now, and like I even have like one of my uncles right now who has been an addict or whatever. He's my favorite uncle, like my all-time favorite uncle. I would do anything for him. He's like he's battling addiction, but he's like one of the most solid and most loyal people that you ever know, like and ever like love. And even with my uncle, like I try to help him. I try to do what I can. Like even as far as like his reading level isn't where it should be, because back in the day, like he was out hustling. He wasn't really, big on education. So it's like he could be better in certain areas. And I'm like, Unc, like I'll get you a tutor. Like I pay for you. I would do this, for you. And he won't even accept it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I hate when people place the blame game in situations because there are family members, like I'm a living testament, who I've offered my services. I've offered, to pay for things, and I've offered to do things, and nobody's gonna do it unless they want to do it. You know?
Nick, Nick, I wouldn't let those people whatever with the blame game thing, whatever, because some of those same people, they have family members, they're not even helping or whatever. And I had a family member. This was when I don't know if you like the boys camps and stuff like that. Florida used to have them, but they shut them down because of a death and everything. But like they used to have the little youth camp for bad boys where they couldn't go to their family. They would stay on this camp, do all kind of farm stuff and all that. I had a cousin. He was an alcoholic so much. This man would drink the mouthwash just so he could feel some kind of effects of alcohol. And like this, I'm telling you, when somebody wants to do it, he ran away like I don't know how many times from the place and just kept getting longer time until it was like a boot camp until he was able to stay there and go through the full program. But
Yeah,
when people want to get messed up and they want to get high, there is nothing you can do
yeah.
unless you
Well,
lock them in a
let
room.
Adrian finish saying what she was saying so that we can go to the next person.
No, I just piggyback on what y'all were talking about here. He talking about the mouthwash, like they'll take that out of rehab. You can't bring mouthwash in there to the rehab because those addicts will drink that. They'll do, like he said, they'll do anything. But my another thing I felt was a little bit
Well, I don't want
problematic.
to. I don't want to stay on like the problematic stuff or like the negative. I want to push towards the direction of just reflecting on his life, his legacy, and who he was as a person and things like that. I don't want to like get
Yeah,
stuck
yeah.
on it too long. So if you want to share like something other than that, then I would like to hear from you.
Well, I remember when he came out, I was in high school, and I was just totally in love with this idea of moving to New York. And I moved up here and started my job after college, and I thought everybody up here was gonna sound like him. I was like, looking for a bad boy and all that kind of stuff because I was just in love with what that was. But I recognized that um, he kind of had this like bad boy but lovable type of energy about him. Like he definitely drew you in his music, and um I like I, but one thing I feel like we can't erase is the fact that a lot of his music was painful, and that was his outlet for a lot of what he went through in his life, and that was his way of dealing with it. That was his therapy. And I think us listening to it, you can relate to those things in his music that you may be going through. That's why the other day said, I'm tripping, got to get up, that song, and she started crying, So I feel like, sometimes these artists, they put their all into it, and a lot of time it's therapy for them. But the reason why fans connect is because we can also use it for what we're going through. And I think that's why people connected with him. But to hear his story was just so absolutely horrible in terms of his childhood, what he went through, all that kind of stuff, the abuse and stuff like that. So we're rocking to it and whatnot, but not realizing that was therapy for him.
Yeah,
That was very therapeutic for him to put that in the lyrics and for that to come out in the
And it
persona
was
that we
therapeutic
knew as
for people
X.
who were listening to it and going through the same thing. Like there's a lot of people like growing up in the hood and facing like, the constant struggle of living in the hood who that resonated with them, and they were able to hear those lyrics and pick up and know to push through. And he helped a lot of people like push through their situations through living through his pain out loud.
see, Nick, like that's what separated a lot of the rappers from back in the days to now, because you would know about a rapper, the history in life, just by listening to their song. You didn't even have to do an interview with them. The rappers nowadays, you don't know nothing about them, to be honest with you, unless somebody say, "Oh, this person," like somebody that's they mad at or somebody that go on internet and expose them. But as far as like listening to their music and getting a timeline of their life, we don't get that no more.
Well, because a lot of these current ones are it's manufactured. Their
Oh yeah.
entire identity. You can tell when X was rapping, and I think you touched on it earlier, like them rappers that came out when you actually had to have talent and you had to really live that life. It was authentic. That old saying, "Real recognize real." You can see it, you can hear
Mhm.
it. When they walked on stage, now you have these completely manufactured identities, and we don't know who these people are. They come from whoever knows what, where, and all they needed, these producers are the ones that are giving these, rap stars nowadays careers, because they don't rap about nothing real, or they rap about stuff that they heard, stuff they ain't never gone through. But with him and the people that came out in his era, it was like you can see it. You can see it, and it came out in the music. You knew who that person was just by listening to him, and you felt like, yeah, I can get a sense of what he went through, what he was going through, what New York is like, and all that kind of stuff. I'm from Cleveland, so I was listening to him, and like I said, you can visualize it, you can see it, and everything. Where these guys now, not really so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Adrian and Rebel, for coming on. I'm gonna get some more people on. I appreciate you guys sharing about DMX.
All
Thank
right, no
you.
problem. Peace, y'all.
All right, bye bye. Jay,
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me on.
what's up?
Now I was just listening to the conversation. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to the conversation, and I was just thinking, like, I definitely will want to focus more on, DMX's like life, but I think that his like addiction is just a big part of his story. Like, I remember when he had that situation in the past, and it was looking real bad for him, just where he was at. And even now in the past couple years, like seeing him like grow back into like being a public facing figure, and the preaching, and just like his message, like that is a big part of like just who he always was to me, because like DMX was the first rapper to me that really got me like listening to music in an introspective way. Like that was, probably the biggest reason why I like them personally, just because like the music was real. You could feel it. I heard somebody say like you listen to Slippin' now, and you can still feel like the pain and like the meaning behind it. So like, I think all that is part of his story. Definitely don't believe that, we in a position from the outside looking in to say like what people did or didn't do or they couldn't do. And I don't even think DMX would like even say that, from everything I've seen of him since, he's been going through what he's been going through, like he wouldn't make those type of excuses. He just knew he had demons to battle, and, he was trying to work through it. And unfortunately, we don't know all the details yet. So, I know, they saying he overdosed, but we don't know how or what, or, what the situation is behind that. So like, I would just want to like, put respect on his name, and show my like appreciation, because he definitely touched my life, as a fan. And even as he was going through his ups and downs. I remember there being years where it was like, you know, he was like the butt of a joke, but like to see somebody come back and still have the impact and still have the respect that, like, you know, he had, you know, it means a lot to me, you know. And I think that with his passing, that's just where the energy needs to be, like, on what his message was, you know.
Right, I agree. And with that being said, I have a couple people in the queue. I'm going to replay his interview that I played for you guys the other day, and I'm gonna bring that on the screen. So we're gonna watch that again, and then I'll bring some more people on.
Do you when you think back on this whole thing, what went wrong in Arizona? How did you end up getting in so much trouble here? Was there too much temptation here, or
I actually didn't get in. After you? No, I didn't get in. I actually didn't get in any trouble. I was never arrested at the scene of any crime, or you know, the police came and arrested me for something. You know, it was always let's get an arrest warrant for this guy. You know.
You think Arpaio was after you?
I'll let the public answer that one. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, because I don't know. It might look like it, but I don't know if that was the case. So I'm not going to say that that's what it was. You know, but we're all God's children, and I do pray for that man. You know, as I pray for everyone else. You know, whether I know you or not, I pray for my friends, family, loved ones, and as well as my enemies every night. You know, because we're all God's children. We're all God's children, and we all deserve the same grace.
In any way, has this time in here a lot of time to think? Has
Yes.
that changed X?
Yes, it has. It has. It has. It has gotten me closer to my true calling on life, closer to realizing, to actualizing my true calling on life, which is to be a pastor. You know, so I'm like, you know, I'm in my Bible every day. You know, they got me on 23-hour lock-in. Why, I don't know.
Is that for your own protection?
That's what they say, but it's really just to be a pain in the ass. You know, I mean, they just put me in general population a week ago. I didn't get in so much as a write-up. You know, I haven't had one disciplinary report since I've been here. Yet they moved me back.
So what are you going to do, X, when you're out of here finally? What's the game plan?
Well, I'm going to start a TV show while I'm in here, Pain and Perseverance. You know, and it's about how I can reach people that the average person can't reach because I'm grounded. I'm still as grounded as I am. And I'm going to give my first sermon in the church. That's going to be like incredible for me, and I hope to be incredible for the congregation of that church. You know, I hope I'm able to reach somebody or just touch somebody, you know what I'm saying, and bring them closer to the Lord.
Are you going to still make music?
Yes. I actually have completed the gospel album. Yeah. You know, on every one of my albums, there's been a gospel song and a prayer. And, you know, of course, with the image, they never, you know, made those songs into singles except my 6th album, which is Lord, and they did Lord Give Me a Sign as a single. And
do you turn your back on what you wrote earlier in your career?
No, I do not. No, because
do you have kids?
Yes, I have 8 kids.
How old are they?
The oldest one is 16. The youngest one is 3 months.
How do you feel about them listening to some of the things you've written?
I encourage them to listen, but I also encourage them to not. They know what not to say. You know, you can't hide something from a child because that only gets them more curious about it. You know, what you do is you say, all right, this is what it is, and this ain't for you. You know?
Do you think it's a negative message?
No, it's a real message. And real is sometimes negative as well as positive. But it's real. And it needs to be. It needs to be, yes. It needs to be real. You can't hide things because they're gonna find out. And when they find out, like, oh, this must be good because my father hid it from me all this time. He must have wanted it for himself. No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. And I tell you, you touch it, I'll break your arm. You know? Or if you get curious, come talk to me about it because I've already been through it. I haven't been through what I've been through for nothing. You know? I've been through what I've been through to stop you from going through it, to be able to tell you about it. So that way you won't have to experiment to know what it's about, you know?
So you're saying your music, in a sense, some of it's a warning.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, I think people are curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How did you end up in here?
I think I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
I don't know if they do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Anytime you get it, I'm pretty sure they do. You know, there's how do I end up in here? You know what? I'm gonna look at it in a positive light and say that I came here to meet somebody. Don't know who it was, but I'll know when I see him. And I came here to give him a message. And that message is Jesus loves him. You know what I'm saying? I came here to give him the word. That's why I'm here. Regardless of what it looks like, you know, regardless of what people think, that's why I'm here. I came here to meet somebody and tell them about the glory of God.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
In the rap world, if you do time in jail or prison or you've been shot, that's a badge of courage, right? That gives you street cred.
Not really. I mean, I guess in any world, you know, it has people like, ooh, you made it. You know, that's like surviving something that a lot of people didn't survive. So I guess in that aspect, but that's not so much the rap world, it's in any world, you know?
So does this time in jail here, does it help your standing with your fans?
No, it's actually, man, it's wasting time. You know, it's wasting time. There's so many things I could be doing. But then again, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Just a little bit of time. And it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long. It'll be over soon. And before you know it, I'll be back doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, the gospel according to Acts. You know, music, movies, speaking to people, you know.
Have you talked to guys in here who don't have the opportunities that you've had and will have when you get out? There are guys in here who really don't have a lot going on. I mean, they've got a tough road ahead when they get out of here. They're not going to have movies, and they're not going to have TV shows. They're not going to sell records.
Have I talked to them about what?
Have you tried to help them?
I give positive advice. I try to get them to look at themselves to see what they're good at, because we all have a talent. So I try to get them to look at themselves, and I try to explain to them, you don't have to do that, because there's no such thing as an old drug dealer. You know, there's no old players. You know, there's no old gangsters. You know, so I give them something to think about. You know, there's so many other things that you could do, but you know, people do what they want to do, and I'm not their father, so I just tell them, you know, the best thing I can tell them at that particular time, and hope they get into it. You know, but I always tell.
All right, so I just wanted to share that interview. And that interview, I feel like, was just like a real true testament to who he was, like looking at things that may not be such a great situation in a positive light and looking at it like, you know, maybe I have a purpose in being here. Maybe my purpose was to meet somebody and, you know, shine a light on them and be a positive light. And that interview just, I feel like, is just a testament to his character, you know, and the type of person that he was. So I'll go to DMX Kid fan. You have to unmute your mic. Go ahead. Okay. 704 Meezy, go ahead.
All right, what's the question?
Just your thoughts on DMX, how you feel about what's going on. Oh, he clicked off. Okay, Only Truth. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, as soon as I joined, hello, Neek. Hello, everybody on the panel, everybody listening. I just wanted to call in because I just wanted to say, like, as I think I was like 11 years old, that man had an impact on me. You know, when we're younger and we think we grown and we got the, you know, me as a young female, I was you know, I did juvenile time and stuff, or even before I even thought the things I thought I was going through, a lot of his music, you know, pulled me through. even in 2021, no lie, X could have dropped something this year and I would have been on it. That's somebody I listen to on a daily, you know? To me, this hurts. I don't think I've ever, but I was like young when Pop passed. I don't think this ever affected me. You know, I'm not one for the conspiracy theories, but I also want to say I feel like he was a leader and he was bullheaded. So for everybody blaming all the like conspiracy theories, nobody could tell X what to do. He was intelligent. Addiction is a strong thing, but X wasn't somebody you could just tell, yo, bro, you got to stop this. You need to get yourself together. He was going to do what he wanted to do. I wish that this wouldn't have happened. I do not know why this happened. I also do not know if how he went, if he went on his own or the plug was pulled. But me, I will never be somebody that can take that responsibility because I would have held on to my father until he gave out. If that's the case,
his organs failed according to reports.
Yeah, that ends up happening, and whatever happens was supposed to happen. And I also want to say to anybody listening, before they started talking about the conspiracies and the Illuminati and all that, I just had this conversation with somebody about 3 months ago. If they were listening and really listening to his music, everything everybody's trying to talk about within these past few years about the industry, he'd been telling us. They just weren't listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like this is I feel like it hit close to home. I wish he could have like came back. He was never the butt of any of my jokes. I would have never allowed nobody to disrespect that man on his music and what he's done in front of me. And for all of us, and it's just sad, it hurts. And I'll never stop listening to his message. His message helped us in the 90s, the 2000s, and 30 years from now. What he's saying will still rock, and it's still true, you know?
Yeah, that's a fact.
All. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have as great as the day could get. Thank you for having me on, and I'll just mic down and I'll listen in.
All right, thank you so much. Dami God.
What up?
Hey.
Oh shit. What's good?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello?
Hell is hot every day. We was playing DMX every freaking day. And that's the first time I came in contact with him. And then to hear his music, you can hear the pain in his raps and in his voice and stuff like that. You don't hear that nowadays. Back in the 90s, it's only a few rappers that rap about authentic stuff and about their authentic life and stuff like that and live it and say what they and living what they say in their raps and stuff like that. DMX was one of the realest. And not all preachers preach in the pulpit or in the church. Some of them are like DMX. Some of them is rough, rugged, and raw, like that. And they still, and I feel like they still more honest than the preachers. And I think people will listen to DMX more because he been through that. He been through the stuff. He been through the struggle. And he don't paint a picture of you need to be perfect.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna pause you right now. And it's a lot of new people who are coming.
Also,
Wait, I'm gonna pause you.
I don't like this conspiracy theories either, or whatever. Talking about.
Can you hear me? I'm going to pause you. There's a lot of new people entering the chat. There's a lot of new people entering in the live. DMX is now officially passed away. There was a lot of false reports in the days leading up. However, today it has been officially confirmed that Earl Simmons, the DMX that we know and love, has departed from this earth as we know him too. So, I just want those of you that keep on in the chat saying he's not gone, this and that, and you just now coming in. I know that there was a lot of false reports. Hello? I know that there was a lot of people who was, saying false things, but he has now officially been pronounced dead as of today. So go ahead, Dominique, and finish. Okay, I don't think he can hear me. Ice Corleone.
Ice Corleone, man. Shout out to rest in peace to X, man. You know, that was a legend. Like I grew up on X, you know, I was a young, bad kid, you know, catching charges as an early age, juvenile, putting me in group homes and shit like that. So when he used to rap about those things, that shit touched me. I
No, no
related to
person.
it.
No person.
Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me. When he used to rap about them things, it touched me, you know, I related to it. And, you know, he touched a lot of people. Like he was a real dude. He wasn't Hollywood like some of these entertainers. Like he'll
Yeah,
come out, he'll come out to the hood. He's a millionaire. People could do things to him. He touched the people. What's up? Take pictures with the babies. Hang out with the dudes on the corner. Like he was a
yeah,
different kind
yeah.
of dude.
And you from New York, so I know like everybody from New York who I guess into that somewhat. Like you've heard stories about DMX rapping on somebody block, kicking it with some niggas some people at a barbershop, like all type of stuff. So even as like a high profile rapper, like he was one of those people who had a certain credibility. You know what I mean? Like just and DMX obviously he was like a gangster, I guess, but he wasn't even like the toughest talking dude. Like he just kind of kept it real, and you kind of just seen what he was about. The company he kept, like the respect he got in the street. But it's not like he talked about like killing dudes all the time and all type of wild stuff. Like he just kept it real about the lifestyle that he was a part of. You know what I mean?
It was reality. He talked about reality stuff that's going on in the ghetto, in the
Yeah.
community, and stuff that's in the streets. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah. E
Yeah,
Pharaoh,
for sure.
unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm really hurt by this because, like, truthfully, like, it's only been 2 times when a celebrity or somebody who I didn't know, like, passed away, and it really broke my heart. And of course, it was Aaliyah and recently Kobe, but like DMX really hurts just because like I think like old boy was saying a few seconds ago, like I related a lot to his music in the sense of things that I've been through far as group homes and being locked up and things like that. And I just felt like a lot of the things he said really spoke to me, to my spirit and my situation. And I just look at how he went out. I just thought that things was gonna turn around because when we saw the verses a few months back, like he looked good. He gained a little bit of weight. He looked like he was doing better. And I think that's what bothers me the most about it. And then there's so many kids that's gonna be without dad now. Like it really it's heavy on my heart. That's all I wanted to say. But I'm a big fan and I appreciate you hearing me out.
Thank you so much for coming on, E Pharaoh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that DMZ, he definitely got his flowers while he was living. He was the best to ever done it. So, he got his flowers while he was living. So you can't say that he didn't know that he was well loved, because he was. So that's all I gotta say.
all right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
DMX Kid fan. You have to unmute your mic. You have to unmute your mic. Okay, I don't know what's going on with his thing. But yeah, so there's a lot of celebrities who have sent in their condolences to DMX and his family and have spoke to, who he was as a person and his legacy and everything like that. Before I read through what some of the celebrities had to say, like me, I became a DMX fan. Like I want to say I was in middle school and I was really like just in awe and fascinated by this person because he was the representation of the people and the reflection of like the men that I seen around me. And he was just such a real dude. I remember back in high school and going ready to go to school. I'm telling my age by telling y'all, like, I used to record his music videos on VHS tapes, and so that when I could get ready in school, I could play his music videos on VHS, and I would watch his music videos. And I watched Belly. I was in love with Cradle to the Grave. Like, all of his music is like, I'm not his music, all of his TV and film and things like that, like his movie Belly. I was so infatuated with DMX at the time, but it was so crazy because, like, I used to, like, go by the screen name Sincere because I also like Nas, but it was like DMX was like that was my that was my thing or whatever. So I could, like, my family would get so annoyed because I would literally sit and recite the movie word for word. Like, if you turn on Belly, like, it's like I was in the damn movie. I'm reciting the lines so much. I love the movie so much. I love DMX so much. And he just was a real relatable person. And he reminds me of, just the men who I grew up around, who are real dudes, like street dudes battling real life things and just being real and true throughout. And so he was just a real person. I'm gonna go to Zamo. I don't know how to say it. Ziamo.
Everyone.
Go ahead. Unmute your mic.
My language is so poor. I listen on only. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
So
You can try to get it out as much as we can understand. Is there something you want to say?
Sad. I'm so sad. You know what I mean? I see it. I listen to you. I love DMX and all this stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm so sad. I sit in home with my wife and daughter, and this is very terrible stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, where you from, man?
From Warsaw, Poland.
That's
In
crazy
Poland,
that DMX touching people in Poland. That means a lot.
He worldwide, man. He worldwide.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you see it. You always hear it, but like you can see it.
What was that first song? What was that first song that what was the first time you tapped into DMX? What made you recognize DMX?
I listened to DMX many years ago. You know, I love hip hop. I love this culture. You know, I love New York.
Yeah.
I love many people from USA. I love hip hop. You know, many years ago when hip hop started in Poland. You know, and I'm so sad. I love this guy, this words, this all these songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just a vibe, right? It's just it's hard to explain.
I find the way. I find the way to God. Now I'm live. You know what I mean? I'm clean. I'm clean many years.
Okay.
And I'm so sad.
You've been through like similar struggles than DMX, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
thanks,
real.
and I listen to you. And this is my bad day. You know, I listen to this music today. So thanks, my brother.
What's one of your favorite songs?
Man, I love many songs, DMX. You know, I love this last songs with MGK. You know, I love MGK. I must tell this. MGK and DMX. This last songs. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I heard that one, DMX and MGK yet, but I'll listen to it.
Yeah. Joe Cool?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Dziękuję.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, this gonna take a while to get over this one because he was a rare guy, and I'm from North Carolina. But I saw him. He was a rare. He came with Nas here to a concert a couple years ago.
Release one. You have an echo. You have to cut it off in the back. You create an echo. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Him and Nas came here a couple years ago, and I made sure I went to that show because I wanted to see him perform. And my favorite song by him is "Slipping."
Mm-hmm.
Just he put his heart into his music. I mean, he showed you, how he really felt about everything. And it may went over some people's heads, but the ones that really listened to what he had to say, he had a lot to say. And he made sure he put it out there. And he's gonna be missed, man. He's really gonna be missed.
Yeah, he's going to be like just his little jewels and gems. Like he would just like drop nuggets off. Like when he was on the Drink Champs and he was talking about like, just like trusting people. And he was just dropping little nuggets like, you got to trust people to be people at the end of the day. Like he just will always drop little gems and drop little nuggets on people and, just be a light and wisdom that, we can all learn from. And I feel like he helped a lot of people, even though his journey is ending now at 50.
Yeah.
I feel like throughout his life, he helped people keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was compassionate, and because when he would cry, you can tell like he went through a lot of stuff. I mean, he would cry like it won't put on him. He just did it. Cry, you can tell like he went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot of struggles, He was in the streets. He was homeless, group homes. You know what I mean? He says it in his music. It's all through his music if you listen, you know what I mean? And
He would. I would say he was the first rapper that I could think of in my kind of age range that even touched subjects like that from the standpoint of like not just I'm in the hood, I'm getting money, I'm doing this. It's like I'm this is life. This is what it really is to be out here, And it's like even as somebody who didn't have to like grow up necessarily in that completely, like I knew people who lived that life, and it's like you can just connect to just the idea of somebody expressing that in such a public way, in such a real way. Like it was hard. Like I don't know anybody who didn't like DMX for a real reason. You know what I mean? At that point in time, like people would say shit. Oh, I like this. I mean, my bad, Nick. But people would say stuff like I like this person, that person. But realistically, like if you like rap, if you like real stuff, if you like people, you connected with X on some level, right? On some level whatsoever. Like, and it's like, even with everything he went through, because that was his story, it's like you like somebody said, you people would joke on his name, but it's like you never looked down on him. You always kind of knew and hoped that he would get himself back together because it's like this is somebody who's authentic, right? You want to see them win. You want to see them in a good place. And like even now with people and everybody's sad like what he's going through, but I feel like from my experiences dealing with death, like the easiest thing for me is you got to look at what somebody's message was and like what would they want themselves to represent, what would they want to carry on. And I know DMX is going to be the perseverance, you know what I mean? It's going to be the overcoming of the struggle. It's going to be like being authentic, being real with everybody around you and finding a way to make it work, you know what I mean? And like I think that's the part that we got to look back and hopefully at some point we can smile and say like, at the end of the day he was able to serve his purpose. And like Nick was just saying, like his journey is ending personally, but his message is going to live on. I think even more so now than ever. Like hopefully there's a push with some of his older music and just the exposure, so some of the younger crowd can get that because like it's real. Like and I let somebody else speak, but even just what the kids deal with today with like the addiction and the pills and all that type of stuff, DMX is somebody who unfortunately bridges that gap because that's somebody who back in some of our eras, like we all look a little bit older, but like in our era, that's somebody who dealt with that same stuff. And it's like you can understand that story. It's not going away. But he was somebody who made an impact in trying to change that narrative that people who deal with that stuff can be more than, their demons. They can have a lot to give the world and they can touch other people, So that's just what I'm always going to remember about him.
Y'all think they're gonna compare him to Tupac? You think they're gonna compare him a lot more to Tupac now?
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Just
I
because
said
he
the same
was
thing. 'Cause
yeah.
I said that losing DMX to me, man, is like losing Tupac and Biggie. Is about as big as losing legends like that, man.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Nah, it is.
It hurts so many people right now, bro. I hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? And I run the house, run upstairs, man, pop that DMX tape in, TDN, man. Ah, I feel good. I'm great. He touched that way. Kind of said we lost it like that.
He was having technical issues. Go ahead. I'm gonna go to Vicky.
Yeah, that's me. Hi guys, how are you? Hi Nick.
Wait. I think it was a Vicky before you. The first one. The other Vicky.
Me?
Oh.
No, it's another. Yeah, hey, go ahead.
How y'all doing? I just want to know, you know, I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah, she came on before
How y'all doing
you,
today?
Vicky. So I'm gonna let her talk first, okay? Then I'm gonna go to you, Vicky, the other Vicky. Go ahead. From Louisiana.
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey Nick. I just wanted to share a little story that I had when I met DMX when he first came out.
It's bad for me.
I think that there's technical issues going on. Go ahead, Vicky. Vicky with the hat. Go ahead.
I think it froze up.
Okay, I think she froze. Okay. The other Vicky, go ahead.
Okay, hey, how y'all doing today?
Go ahead.
Okay, y'all can hear me? Like the time is kind of messed up though for me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we hear.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, I just found out about it too. Like I heard all the other rumors saying, oh, and then I watched the YouTube video of somebody saying, y'all need to stop saying he died, he passed away, when y'all don't know the real confirmation. Like they had rumors spreading around, oh, he died already, when he was still on life support.
Yeah.
Somebody made a YouTube video saying he's still on life support. His manager said that. He actually came out with a YouTube video or a TikTok.
Yeah, but now it's officially confirmed now. So what are your thoughts now? What are your thoughts on it now that it's officially confirmed?
You know, he was. I guess that's crazy. I mean, nobody knows what he could have been going through. He could have been going through family stuff. I mean, nobody come out and say what they're actually going through in their mind. Like nobody's gonna say that.
All righty. Well, thank you so much.
So,
your thing is clicking in and out.
I'm actually listening to
her thing is clicking in and out, so I gotta click her off. I'm sorry. Go ahead to Bryce. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry that DMX passed away. I want to pray for him as well as the whole community. And also, I want to pray for a lot of people like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. I want to pray for them as well. I just want to pray for DMX so much. It hurts my heart that he passed away at the age of 50. So y'all can we can do a moment of silence.
Well, for the live sake, I don't want to do a moment of silence, but you can go ahead and pray if you want to. Is he doing it? You can go ahead and pray if you.
God is good. God is grace. Please pray for DMX this day. Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Yeah, it's tough, man. You a big X fan?
Yes, I listen to his music a lot,
Yeah.
and his music makes me cry sometimes because you know it's
It's
just
deep. It's deep
yeah,
music
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So it's kind of sad. Yeah,
For sure.
Hey, fellas, I'm not gonna take much of your time, you know.
yeah. So it's kind of sad.
But when it comes to X,
Yeah.
X represents a lot of things
Hey,
that
fellas, I'm not gonna take
that
much
we
of your
went through
time, you know.
as people.
Release. You have a bad echo. You have to close out some of your. You have a bad echo.
I'm not gonna take much of your time, you know, as people.
You gotta cut it off in the background. Bad echo. You have.
Hello,
Who just said hello?
this is Tyrone from Baltimore.
Okay, go ahead, Tyrone.
Hey, we have to actually look at this as a wake up call about using drugs in our community. And everyone that's doing drugs or is a recovering addict, this is a wake up call. This fentanyl and all these other drugs is no good for you. So, with that being said, DMX, rest in peace. I love your music, and you always be in my radio.
Woo, child, that's a lot of noise.
Go ahead, Vicious.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. I just want to say,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Jay, tell her to go ahead.
Hey, Vicky, go ahead and say what you need to say. Go ahead.
well, I just come in to say that I met DMX in person in Virginia when he first came out. He was so fucking up. Sorry, he was so cool. Like his bodyguard, his security guard surrounded me and him and allowed me to take pictures with him and everything. Like he paid for my picture, he paid for my drink. His bodyguard surrounded us on the floor while we was kicking it. I mean, even after party, we went around to the back of the club. It was just me, him, his bodyguards, and these three girls I had met in New York because I was in Virginia by myself. It was my last weekend, and I'm like, I'm going to the party. And so we were just out there kicking and shit, chopping it up, the blunt in the ear. I'm like, shit, fire that blunt up. I mean, he was just so down to earth, so cool.
I know you
like
sipping,
laid back. Like he wasn't arrogant. He wasn't none of that.
She can't hear
I
me.
loved him. Like I love DMX. Like it's just so heartbreaking. Today it's bittersweet
Tell her
for me
to stop
because
cursing.
today my brother made 40,
Yeah, no,
and
that's
DMX
crazy.
died today at
That's
50.
crazy, but you gotta
So it's
watch,
kind of a
you gotta watch the language
bittersweet
though.
day for me. But I'm glad that he
No, that's
to suffer no more.
but you gotta
So we all have to continue to smile and continue to pray and knowing that he's now in a better place. And we have to continue to thank God for it. That we had somebody that we can truly idolize.
We can hear you.
Tell her to go ahead. Finish.
Keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Just watch the cursing.
I did, I heard you.
Okay. Yeah, but no,
Sorry about that.
it's okay. But so that's crazy. You had an actual one-on-one with DMX, like y'all kicked it for a little while.
Yes, one-on-one, baby, yes.
That's dope, right?
Like I had so many pictures.
All right, tell her we're gonna go to the next one.
It's kind of this reception is got me off because I can hear everybody talking and I cannot hear Nick talking at all a little bit.
Well, yeah,
But anyway, I took a picture with him at the club and he asked me, he said, could I lay my head on I'm like, yeah. We were, I did. I heard. I apologize.
You got to get the DMX was here tattoo.
Yeah. DMX is here.
Yeah.
But no,
We
Nick was saying that if you're done with your story, she wants to go to the next person. But you know, you
Go ahead. Thank you for listening. I just want to bring like a little light to it.
Nah, that's what's up. That was a good story.
All right, we're gonna go to Mark Knight.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, it's Mark Kentave, by the way. And how you doing, Neat?
My bad. Hey, how you doing?
Good. See, first, rest in peace to DMX. So just wanted to say, I noticed a trend the last few years where artists of past and that legend label get put on them real easy.
Mm-hmm.
But DMX was like a true legend, because he transcended race. Like it didn't matter if you was male, female, black, white, Asian. Everybody rocked with it. His music just touched so many people. Like, that's the definition of a true legend. When you can transcend borders like that. Even with his drug addiction, like it would be easy. It's easy to make fun of people that go through that stuff. Like, people will make fun of people for smoking crack and stuff like that. But with X, he just kind of always had that respect. Like, yeah, X did drugs, but hey, X was gonna give it to you though. That's kind of how we always kind of felt about it.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say. Like,
you at work
he a
right
true
now?
legend. I am. Sorry. But I just wanted to get on here and say that, that we don't need to be too loose with that legend word. I am.
Nah, he was definitely a legend.
That's a legend. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, that's a legend.
Well, get back to work. We don't want you to get in trouble, but thanks for chiming in.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. You tapping that keyboard, boy. DJ Freakalika? Freaka. What's your name? Freakalika? You gotta unmute your mic.
Yeah, DJ Freak.
Oh, I don't know what happened. All right. Vicky.
Hi, hey everybody. Nick, I want to say first, I'm a huge fan of you. I like how you a no nonsense podcaster, so I really like that.
Thank you.
Kept it straight to the point with the DMX situation. I'm a really huge fan of DMX. I was introduced to him through like the men in my family because I don't know if they are part of a bike club, but a lot of them have like 4-wheelers and motorcycles and stuff like that. But I was some of my favorite songs by him would be, I'm from Atlanta, so I'm a fan of Monica, and they have a song together called Don't Gotta Go Home. And then I was a huge fan of Aaliyah.
That's one of my favorite songs. His song with I'm sorry, but that song with Monica, I used to play that song on repeat, baby, on repeat.
Right.
My song right there on repeat, I tell you. Go ahead.
I've been playing it all morning, like in my feelings and crying. And then I love the songs that he collabed with Aaliyah on and the movie, And then I love What You Want because they have my name in there. I guess I'm petty for that. But like when it gets to my name in the song, I'd be like, Vicky. So
well, I'm jealous because my name ain't in here.
And I felt so bad when I got older and realized what the song was talking about. I was like, oh.
Look, what they want, man, every dude feeling like he had drinks.
Right.
Every dude feeling like he had chicks. You don't know none of them names.
I can honestly say he the only rapper that can rap like 7 to 10 different female names in one verse, and it just flow. And even though the song was talking about them being like, you know, it was still like I loved it. It's like my favorite song. I still play it today.
Yeah, but that Monica one, I'm about to listen to that after this stream. That used to be on repeat, like.
Maybe it's an Aquarius thing.
That
That's
one
my thing.
and How It's Going Down is like
yes.
How It's Going Down is like I love How It's Going Down too. Like,
and when he made that song with Faith Evans, because I lost my grandma some years back, so like yeah, that touched me too. Miss You by Faith with him and Faith. That was my song. So yeah, I love DMX.
Yeah, I did.
And that's all I wanted to say. Bye, you guys. And I'm so happy to see all the guys on here expressing their feelings. I love it. So, all right.
Yeah,
shout out to you too.
All right.
But
Bye, guys.
Nick, I'm out of here. So, Lou, I appreciate you having me up here. You heard?
All right. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Let me go to Emily. You gotta unmute your mic.
Oh, hi. How are you? I just wanted to say rest in peace to DMX. He was very an influencer in my life in a way. Basically, it's just like a lot just like touched, like a part like from his songs, like touched me a lot. And he influenced a lot of people, and he also put a lot of people on. And his whole movement was like very inspirational to the community. He was very in touch with his community, which I really liked about him, because not a lot of artists do that. It's just a lot to process right now. Like his whole death and everything. Like it's just still processing in my head.
Yeah.
Every single day I was constantly praying. Even though I've never met him in person, but I was just constantly praying, because he was like one of the artists that was really in tune with God and everything. And I feel like one of his best verses to me was when he like collaborated with Busta Rhymes. Such a remix. It like he really went off. He went off.
Spit it for us.
So yeah, so that's basically what I have to say.
Give us a verse.
Say that again.
Say the verse.
Say the verse.
All right. Oh my god. I'm super nervous to be on here, so I can't really.
It's okay. Go ahead.
You with you?
This the monster, X the beast, fucking with bus every day is the piece. Stay off the streets. I'm tired of talking, y'all. I'ma stick a fork in y'all. When I hit a man, the truck don't get a man. I kill a man. What?
Hit a man.
I'm a little nervous. talking here.
No, it's good. It's good.
Nah, you good. You good. That's what's up.
I really appreciate being here and talking with y'all. So and saying whatever I had to say. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, somebody just in the comments said the verse in the beginning of Belly gives me chills. Yeah, the opening, the whole movie is just everything. Like all my life, anybody who has ever talked to me about favorite movie conversation, Belly has always been my #1 favorite movie of all times. I'm still mad that they tried to disrespect Belly with that movie with the game. I'm not even gonna call that Belly, but I'm so mad that they tried to call that crap Belly. Like it was just so disrespectful.
Nah, it's one of the classics right there.
Like to try to follow up Belly with that movie with the game is just so disrespectful. It's not even funny. But Belly is my all-time favorite, and then after that is A Bronx Tale. So A Belly and A Bronx Tale is like my favorite, and that's just kind of like DMX is kind of like how I developed my love for New York. Like I love New York. I started dating New York guys just because I love New York so much. Like I've always been infatuated with the culture, and DMX was one of the people who just made me fall in love with New York. It made me fall in love with just that East Coast swag. You know, it's just so opposite of Cali. I'm from California, so the East Coast swag is just the polar opposite of how the guys are out here. And just when I used to see DMX on the screen and him just being his authentic self, commanding the stage, like he didn't even have to do no goofy stuff, like just him, like his presence, like he was just a presence. You know, like if he was on the screen or, you know, on the stage, like he was just a presence and he captivated you with, you know, all of his being. And so yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason why it touched me, because I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx, so Bronx and Yonkers were right there. So that's why like it hit close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm from the Bronx too. Represent.
Hey.
Yeah.
But
I am taking a trip. Somebody said, Nick, you need to take a trip to NY. I'm taking a trip to NY very soon. So Fila?
First of all, I'd like to say how you doing, kings and queens. You know, it's a pleasure to be on the show once again. The first thing I want to say is this right here. Rest in peace and salute to my brother Saint Earl. You know, I really believe that he was a saint. I'm listening to the conversation that we all talking about, and I get it because we loved him in the flesh. You know what I mean? But I think what he was trying to get us to see was his message. And most great saints, we don't get their message until they pass away, because that's when we tune in and we really see the value of what there was on the earth for. You know what I mean? Because the music will fade and all the conversations will fade, but the spirit and the message will always remain. And the message that I got from DMX was he was trying to get us to go to the Lord and to dedicate ourselves to the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? And I got that loud and clear from him. You know, even in the video that you put up when he was in prison, you know, he said, man, I'm here to tell people about the Lord, you know. And I think that he was really trying to reach his ultimate like goal, which was basically to be a pastor. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I view DMX passing as like a spiritual, you know, like transition. I believe that all of us are getting more spiritual every day in a literal sense, not just the sense of like we're being more enlightened, but I mean, one day we will not be flesh and blood no more, and we will be all spirit. We will transcend. So we're transcending right now as we're talking. You know what I mean? We're becoming more spiritual every day. I believe that that brother was a great force because of the fact that most people, they get sidetracked by fame. They get sidetracked by money. They get sidetracked by all the lures, you know, that some will say the devil, but I just say the worldly things. And I was just amazed at how he was able to be focused, even in what some would say, you know, drug addiction or under the influence. It never stopped him from professing the name of the Lord. You know, even when he was on stage at a concert in front of millions of people, in front of, you know, tens, 20,000s of people, he professed the name of the Lord. And me, myself, personally, I'm on that same mission. You know, I heard you speak earlier, you know, about your favorite uncle, which I personally know. I did an interview with him. I interviewed him. You know, that's another saint. I ain't gonna say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah, when did you interview him?
I interviewed him at his house probably about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
A 45-minute interview, and we got real deep on the things of the Lord, on his views towards the youth, you know, some of his background, you know, with the prisons and all that kind of stuff like that, you know, but we got saints right amongst us, you know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate that we don't really look into their words, into their jewels that they left us until they pass away. I mean, look at the characters in the Bible. We didn't really start listening to Paul and to all of these other people until they passed away. And sometimes that's just the way it's set up, that people come here for a purpose. And if you can, you know, stay in the subconscious and not the conscious mind, you can see the true purpose of one being here. And when they transcend, it won't be a sad occasion. It'll be a celebration because they came here to do such a thing and they did that thing. They got it accomplished. They stayed focused on the mission and then they transcended, right? And I remember Les Brown said that a lot of us are going to die with our dreams. You know, like DMX, some say had an addiction to drugs, right? But a lot of us got addictions to fear. You know, a lot of us got all these addictions that we won't even cure, and we won't even leave our dreams here on earth for others. And like Les Brown said, our dreams is gonna be right next to us, you know, when we dying, and they're gonna say, man, I only could have came out through you. And now I gotta die with you because you didn't have the heart to leave me here. So, you know, St. Earl he had the heart through all of his addictions to do thus what saith the Lord. And that was to preach. That was to get the message out. That was to tell people, even if you look at me as an example, don't be like me. Turn from your wicked ways. Turn towards the Lord, and he got something better for you. So to me, I got the message loud and clear what Saint Earl was here to do. Just like a lot of the other characters that was in the Bible, these was vicious people. These was killers. These was fornicators. And we never sit there and dig into the people that gives us these scriptures. We just say, "Oh, that was a beautiful scripture, and I want to live my life by the words of Paul." But at the same time, Saint Earl gave you the same thing. He gave you the same platform. He gave you the same scriptures of how to live your life. He confessed his sins, in front of everybody. And so don't get so caught up in the addiction of a person or a person's, personal characteristics that you don't get the message, because the message is what's important. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like when the mailman come to your house, you don't sit there and look at the mail truck and determine if you're going to open your mail, if the tires were inflated right or if the paint job was right. No, you just say, "Thank you for the mail," and you hurry up and you rush to open the mail because that's what's valuable. And in this scenario with DMX, what is valuable is the message. We all love him and we want to talk about the music. We want to talk about, his addiction, so-called addiction, the way he lived his life, his up and down. But I just say, don't miss the message, because the message is what he was here to do, and he did it. He left us a lot of memories. He has a great legacy. He left us things that we can ponder back over. He left us great movies. He left us great literature, by way of poetry, by way of music. And I just say, study the books of DMX like you would study these other books. Like you listen to Earl Nightingale, or you listen to Bob Proctor, or you listen to the great Carnegie, you listen to Les Brown and all these other greats. Put St. Earl up there with the other greats and listen to St. Earl. Go back through his music and find the message in the music. Find the message in when you used to see that concert video and he asked everybody to bow their head and pray. And I think that if you do that, you will be in the celebratory, moment right now with St. Earl, because St. Earl has transcended on, but he left his works here on earth for us all to ponder and to learn from. And I just say, great job. And, in the spirit, in the subconscious, I know he's with me right now. And I just say, great job, bro. And I'm one of the guys that I understood what you meant when you were saying that I'm here to be a preacher. And I got your message. And I want to say thank you, man, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
no, that's real, man.
Yeah. Thank you for speaking on that. Release. Hopefully the echo is gone. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. My parents are Nigerian, and I grew up in Nigeria. And the reason why I say that is because X influenced a lot of people all around the world. First song that I remember hearing that really touched me, even though I had been listening to X, was Slipping. Everybody around the world knows exactly how real that song is. The thing about X, Dark Man Must Escape, is that all of us got demons. Not to throw knives in this, but everybody knows that we all got demons. Sometimes as human beings, we try every now and then to put on a front, hide what we're talking about, but we all make mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a purpose. X lived his purpose. And as human beings, we're examples to each other. We all have problems in life. Now it's all about, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna take this life as a lesson? Son said in verse 1, I've been through mad different phases, like mazes, to find my way. And now I know the happy days are not far away. If I'm strong enough, I live long enough to see my kids doing something more constructive with the time than bids. I know it because I've been there. Now I'm in here. Sit back and look what it took for me to get here. Self-reflection, recognizing who we are as men, recognizing who we are as human beings. Who am I as a man? Who am I as a father? Who am I as a son? Who am I as a brother? We see in this book, it's the same thing, even with our sisters. Who are we as human beings? How are we supposed to relate? Look at all the times son would cry on stage. It's not just because something was soft about him, but he was in tune with himself. How much more me and you? He was a real religious man. He really did submit to his creator. A little thing, so that I don't go on preaching so that someone else can get their talk in, but it's almost like X was in tune with himself that he even knew that his creator created a rock and his creator created a rock to be a rock. If a rock knows to stay right there and just be a rock, how much more me and you? You know? What would X want us to do? What does anyone in life that we are connected to want us to do? They want us to stay connected and reflect and learn a lesson so it doesn't have to happen anymore. His whole life was a testimony. How much more me and you who's still alive, you know? So you know, from God we come, to God we return. You know, I hope that each and every one of us, we take this as a lesson, we learn from it. I'm so glad that I was given this opportunity to speak like this, you know, and I pray that each and every one of us, we learn from this man's life. Those who have never heard about X, if you really do love X, actions are louder than words. Show it through your actions. Show through your actions that you really love, that you really cared about this man, you know, because he came before us. He passed at the age of 50. There's myself, I turned 39 in July, you know, so I'm still learning. Life is an everyday lesson for me, you know. But that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you for that.
Man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Max?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm from Belgium, but I live in France now.
All right, take the greenery off the screen and go ahead.
The what?
Go ahead.
The what?
I said take the greenery out the screen, but go ahead.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm from Belgium, and I saw DMX concert when he came in Belgium. So, but even before that, I used to listen to all of his albums, even his DVDs, like Angel. It's one, DVD where he explained a little his life and everything. But DMX was really, a good artist for me, and through his music, I can relate to this, and yeah, he helped me to get through stuff, you know, bad things in life, even good things in life, and yeah, that was X was all about. So the message I want to share is, so we have to bring more love and people together and help each other about drugs, anything. So voila, that's it.
All right. Thank you for that. So you're in Belgium right now?
No, I'm in France for 2 years now.
Oh, okay. What time is it over there?
It's 8:30 p.m.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, as you can see from the people coming, what the other guy was from Poland, he's from Belgium. Like he was loved all around the world. Like he just was a person that just was real and resonated. Like no matter what your background was, or no matter what your culture is, like he touched somebody's heart from being himself and helped people through the struggle. Chip from Jamaica. Hey.
Hearing me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Big up on yourself, you know. Right now, I still not believe that the general gone still a thief. I swear. I hear when I say rest in peace, but the Mondays, like say, from a younger I grew up, are the first artist from, you know, the hip hop, from a really, you know, listen to, a whole heap. It have some friends my age, them introduced me to DMX, you know, and I start listening, I tell you. What I read to them still is that even though I'm a gangster rapper, I remember God still, you know, him always remember Christ and them thing there. You know what I say? So that's the reason I love about the general still, DMX, Rough Riders to the world. They see it. Yeah. I tell the truth, man. I rate him still. Rate him. All for inspiration and thing. And him really a DJ and a rap about the things that him go through in his life still, you know, and him not afraid to bring it forth and say what him want to say. You know? So I respect him for that. Cause me I view the thing from last week, you know. You see it, I said the man in the hospital, the man survive star. You see it, I'm still the love him get from everybody still. I'm respect that. You know? I just want to say rest in peace if him gone, cause I can't believe me know say in a life there's death, you know, but I say John the ex himself, you know. Real thing with general, me not saying a lie, man. Cause me not listen to, alright, me's a man, Me just listen music, you know, but the album, I listen the whole of the album, them, you know. It's dark, it is that. The whole of them, I listen, flesh of my flesh, the whole of them. And may I tell you the truth, you see any artist make tears come on my eye, a good artist. Because I see the song, I say, I'm sleeping, I'm falling, I can't get up. A real music that. When me hear them song, the cool bum take over my skin, my friend, I see it. Yeah, but you know, I just life still I remember, say, I just one of the God them that. I not thought the Almighty God, but I one of the young God them that you know say him set the trend for the youth to come up, you know. Yeah man, and him
Yeah.
talk in mind. Yeah man, see you man. You see me? A long time I listen to DMX, you know, long time. And no fear what
Yeah.
go on cause everybody have them demon as the youth they say. Enough man suffer from drugs, some suffer from other things. So many never watch that, but the message powerful. You know what I say? I'm there I
Nah.
wait and I say I went enough for the life. I'm just go and listen, come no matter, come just listen, hear the people them and see the people them love him. You know what I say? Yeah man, me there I pray for him and say I hope him come out of the coma thing, you know. Cause me I
Yeah.
listen man, I know enough people from Jamaica, him influence Jamaica all you know, people love him at Jamaica too, you know man. I tell you, people love him at Jamaica. You're gonna
Yeah.
make me lose my mind up in here. You know them
So
songs is real and have a
some people don't
spiritual thing in our
understand.
music. So when my DJ and sing,
Some people don't understand
huh?
what you were saying. So I'm gonna break down what he said like just a little bit. So basically what he said was, you know, like he looks up to DMX. DMX was a rare when he was like rare thing, like he's like a rare person. He listened to a lot of his albums, Flesh of My Flesh, and he named another album that he listened to. He said that you know, all the way in Jamaica, like he has respect for DMX and that he was a real person that he could relate to. That's pretty much what he said in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, and like
Yeah,
he was also saying, and I think like a few people have said now, I think that DMX showed a lot of us and a lot of people that you can be spiritual, you can be religious, you can be into God, and you can kind of serve God without having to be some type of false image. You can be a real dude, you can be from the streets, you can be
right.
authentic to yourself. And I think that like I wanted to say this when somebody else was talking too, but like I think that is the one thing for me that's probably gonna stay the longest is that like I'm glad that it seems like that part of his message is being absorbed is that you don't have to give off some preacher image to be a preacher, right? Like, and
Yeah.
even though he had his demons, I mean, we
Cause
find out
everybody,
right, we find out that pastors
yeah,
that give you the whole script, they end up dealing with
yeah,
drugs and dealing with women and dealing with all type of demons themselves. So it's good to see somebody authentic that you can see their struggle. You know what I mean? But you can
yeah.
also see that they're giving them their life
Mhm.
to God and Christ and everything. That's just as authentic as everything else he went through. And so I think for our community, we do need more prophets and saints like that to kind of show us like it doesn't have to be all one way. You can do both. You know what I mean? You can have a little bit of both and still be real to yourself, you know? And I think that's some of what he was saying as well. Like that's something that everybody appreciates. If you are somebody who you may come from a certain area, you may come and see certain things when you grow up, but I still want the best for the world and I still want the best out of people. And I still want to, you know, touch
Yeah.
people in a positive way. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I want to be more than my surroundings and my issues, you know?
Yeah. Um, is there anything else you wanted to say,
True.
Chip, before we go to Sherry?
Yeah. Well,
And
I
just
may say still,
slower. Talk a
restate
little bit
what I
slower.
said.
Talk a
Pardon
little
me?
bit slower. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell
I'm saying the real point. What I wanna say is that he's so real as an hip hop artist that he's the only hip hop artist that he sang a song and I felt like the Holy Spirit was over me. You know, like I feel like chill. You understand what I say? I feel them cool bump there. As I said, the song where I said, I'm sleeping, I'm falling, I can't get up. I've been through him, I tell you what him go through, you see it? It's like him kind of have a, you know, him want to find him way still, you see me? So he must show you know the song say real. Him not just pretend like him just a do a song. That song come naturally. So when I hear songs, alright, me the artist, you know, I'm a DJ, so I'm not boss yet and global, you know what I say? So I listen to other artists. So you see like even like Movado, them artists there, him sing a couple songs where yeah, you feel that shiver, you know what I say? So just a few artists give me that chills, you know what I say? That's how I know say them man the real DMX. He do some good music, man, coming straight from the heart and him soul. Yeah, that's why I love that guy, you know, as a real man, as a brother. Nothing funny, just love as natural love. You know what I say? Yeah, cause him do the thing them the real way. You know, say you can relate to the music and say, you know, I chew him attack. Yeah, man, so rest in peace. You know what I say? If him gone, cause I still not believe. Me can't believe. I just say go still, but I just say go life, you know. In a life there's death, you know, you have to just accept it. Be strong, you know. Yeah, man, I just God bless you, yeah, man. I'm more life and strength, man. That's all I have to say, you know. Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. And from chiming in all the way from Jamaica. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, talk louder. You low. You're very low. It's very low. Somebody got TV playing in the background. Is that you, Sherry?
Try to take the headphones out. Sure.
Yeah, take the headphones out.
It's better?
Much better.
Yeah, I
Much
can hear
better.
you.
Okay. Hello to all. Yeah, I just want to, Neek, I love you. I just want to say that I watch you all the time. You
Thank you for
always report the realist on time, all the time. So I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just been hurt by this whole situation. I'm a really big DMX fan. So when she came with the news and always reported it in a timely manner with the most accurate information, so I really appreciate you, Nick, for providing this platform. And I'm just so grateful to hear everybody in all about all the love that they have for DMX. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to come on here and show my love and just thank you so much for providing this platform because this
Thank
is
you for
a
coming
needed
on.
conversation.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of people want to, speak to the man that they love. So I wanted to open my platform to do that. And thank you for coming on and supporting the channel. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Shakina.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, everybody. I was just coming in to say that I had watched it live earlier. I want to say RIP to DMX and also to his children. I had watched when I watched it live earlier, it hit home, especially this death because my father passed away the same way. And he didn't live, he lived all the way in Atlanta, I'm all the way in Jersey. So we were so far apart that when I found out he passed away, he was already deceased. And when the autopsy came back, he had drugs in his system. Now nobody knew that he was doing drugs because, like you said earlier, people act the same. Some people don't change, and my dad was still the same, still talked the same. We video chatted, still acted the same. And I just really feel, it hit home for his kids. Really for his kids. So prayer goes out to his family and everybody. And my condolences to his friends also, everybody that was close to him, his whole surroundings, people that loved him. And, sometimes it's a disease, you know what I'm saying? And when I found out that my father passed away, coming from his neighbors telling me it was a lady he started hanging around at, she got high. So, you know what I'm saying? It could be because my father was clean for like 20 years. He was clean for so long. So for him to go back, it was like, why? But, he felt alone. He lived alone. He was alone. He always said he was alone, and then when you have negative people around you, they grasp to that. And you know what I'm saying? Then that habit comes back, so that's all I had to say about it though. But it hit home, and RIP to DMX.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you so much to everybody who has come on. I'm gonna let Alfila close out and give final thoughts after J. Cool. J. Cool, did you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about the the speculation of the drug use versus what they talked about him having getting the COVID shot. Because his family was saying one thing, and the reports came out that they had an overdose, and I'm like, which one was true?
I believe the overdose one was true, but
okay.
Yeah, but the only thing I want to say about that is like we got to be clear that we don't know what he overdosed on or what the actual circumstances was, because the way they saying it, they make it sound like he just relapsed, and I think that's not fair for us to just throw on him, especially with all the progress and the way he looked the last time we seen him. Like it could have happened, but it could have been something prescribed by his doctor. It could have been pain medicine. It could have been a lot of things. So like just him taking too many chemicals and then his heart reacting, like that could come from a lot of things. So I just want to be respectful in that way, at least, like to not say, oh, like, oh, he just fell back into what he was into before.
Mm-hmm. Heartbreaker, I'm gonna let you speak really quickly, and then we're gonna let Alfila close out.
Okay, well, thank you first of all for inviting me to the show. I'm gonna just say quickly to all my New York friends, whether I know you or not, I've been dealing with out of towners since I was younger. I'm only in my early 30s, and New Yorkers are really freaking cool. Like they really cool. Out of towners in general are cool, and it's so crazy because I've been checking upon this man. Like I knew this nigga. Like I literally just came in. All my other stuff is Google Locks on my other phone, so I can't do the IG and the Facebook, and I didn't want to do all that on a whole nother phone. So what I did was I'm on YouTube. I've been Googling him. I remember the different news that was trying to kill him off, like one saying he's dead, one saying, and I knew something was fishy. Then I get on YouTube today. Like I've been checking every couple minutes, and like I grew up with him, even to the point I'm on Twitter now. So I made a reference to somebody the other day, and I made a comment because I think Machine Gun Kelly made a comment about listening to him. And I replied and got under his page and was like, yeah, I listened to him. I told somebody that when I listened to him, they automatically was like, oh, you a whole thug. This coming from a dude though. You a whole thug. Why does that make me a thug? And even if I was, it's none of your business. But why does that make me a thug? And I'm a whole girl. And I just call him weak though. So that's just basically how I feel off the muscle. I just literally was crying. This man, what we have to understand is about the aura. His aura is very, very big, and we are starting to come and see the people whom are the apparently original, like everything we learning, all this stuff is coming too, and we are learning who is actually who. And like one of them said, like as far as him being an angel and everything, like you don't know who is who amongst you, and I guess that's why you're supposed to be taught from little how to treat people, because you don't know who is who, and it says that. And they could be regular people that's an angel, and people think that just because we do and have lives because we carry ourselves this way or that way because we're in human form, Meek, that we are not angels or whatever the fact, when in case when when that's not even the case. You know what I mean? That's just humans being nosy about another human. But if you all remember, we are humans having an unhuman experience, which means we are spirit first. So we could be anything, and we're all about to see who is who. You understand? So when I see this man and when I hear of him, I don't think of him as a crackhead. To me, I get pissed. Crackhead, what? Like the other day, me and my friend got into it. I just asked him, he's from New York. I'm like, yo, can you take me up there? Like I've been feeling I need to go up there. Can you take me up there and drop me in front of the hospital? He was going to New York anyway. So then me and him wound up getting into it. But he called me so late, he's already dressed, whatever. I'm like, so okay, you know what time you going to New York, whatever. He's like, boom, going up there, whatever. We wound up getting into it. But I honestly would have stood out there in front of that hospital today. I was just like, my vibration was high on point. I'm dancing to his music. I just got finished bumping Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood like a couple weeks ago around my birthday. Literally. My birthday was literally like 2 weeks ago, going on 3 now. So I listened to his CD, on YouTube album again. When I say this man is powerful, if y'all don't understand who he was, You know, when y'all get a chance, all the bloggers, anybody that's listening, make sure y'all make them put some respect on his name, like Neek said, for the simple fact that he was more than just getting high. He's not even a crackhead, period. He got so much respect, and he got too many people that loved him, and his aura is too big for y'all to just try to downgrade him. That's all I'm saying. Like, I literally cried, and he got so many women. They represented so good, and he got so much love, yo. That gotta be more than anything. He's an all-around type of dude that any female would want. And these females, these niggas today could never. They could never. They could never, because they don't even understand. And half of them wasn't even taught the correct way. That's why you see males. That's why y'all see the women the way that they are. That's why this is what it is. That's all I wanted to say. So I'm hurt. My heart is hurt. I'm grieving. I'm trying not to cry. Thank you so much for inviting me. But everybody, wherever you at, just make sure you put some respect on this man's name. Period. If y'all love DMX, love him. And stop trying to put him down. Be positive for his family. Like, love on this man. You know, I honestly think he was conversing with God, is why he took so long that he wanted to go. And I think because we still got something to do in the afterlife. So just respect this man. That's all I'm saying. Respect his family, respect this man, and above, respect his kids, y'all.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, and I'll let you go so long because I agree 100% what you was just saying right now. This is a spiritual journey. I feel right now that you mentioned the word vibration. You know, when people pass away and they're totally a spirit at that point, it forces us to tap into our subconscious to relate to them. That's why we go into like this mourning type of feeling, or this mourning kind of like state. And right now, everybody's tapping into their subconscious because we can no longer reach him in the conscious, state of being. And so I just hope that this is a valuable lesson, just like when Nipsey died, that we just start seeing people deeper from the conscious level of, persona, or what the public has made their image out to be. And we can kind of navigate through all that and tap into the subconscious of that person with our subconscious. And that, in my opinion, is where all really like the jewels lie, where all the great teachings lie. Just like when you praise the Lord, you praise him from your subconscious. You can't see him, you can't feel him. It's all spiritual. That's the word they use, spiritual. So I just think that a lot of times the people right around us try to see him from a deeper level, and for all of the living right now that's still on this side of the earth that can hear my voice, don't die with your gifts, man. Don't succumb to your addiction to fear. Some people got addictions to alcohol, some people got addiction to drugs, to sex, pornography, but a lot of common people, we hide a lot of our addictions to fear and the doubt, and the things that, it's easy to kind of hide from people. But I would just say, like, just give your gift, man, whatever it is. Don't worry. Don't be so analytical in your head to where your gifts die with you, and when you're ready to close your eyes, you have a lot of regrets because it was some things you was here to do that you might didn't do because of your addiction. Some people's addictions we all can see, like DMX, we can see his addiction. It's a very common addiction, so-called. I don't want to say he had an addiction, but we can see some of the issues that people suffer from, that are more commonly known, like drugs, right? But a lot of us, secretly hide addictions within inside that stop us from bringing our true essence to the world and our true gifts. And I would just challenge you, whoever you are, man. I was reading through the timeline. I'm looking at my computer as I speak. And it's like, I hear a lot of people say this was a confirmation. A lot of people talking about things of the spirit. And this is all just a spiritual journey. Like when you see, like you go to the cemetery, you see a headstone, right? And it says the time that you were born and the time that you died. Well, the time that we live in right now in the presence is that little bitty dash. What you gonna do with your dash? That's what we here doing right now. We working on that dash. And the dash is everything that you're gonna leave for those that come after you. So I would just like to say, and I would just like to challenge everybody, man, tap more into your subconscious, man. Raise your vibration and get around people, that's vibrating like you vibrating. And all of your fears, I challenge you to face your fears. A lot of y'all want to be comedians. A lot of y'all want to be singers, rappers, but that fear just got you. It's worse than a drug addiction. A lot of you people are free, but it's like, it's more freer people that's in the county jail up the street. You know what I mean? Because of the mental chains that we put on each other, for whatever reason. I just challenge everybody to say, to their own self and to their subconscious that it's bigger than your fear, man. It's bigger than your doubt. The gift that you are here to leave to us is way bigger than how you feel about yourself and your self-image, man. So with that in mind, I would just say, like, rest in peace to Saint Earl. I thank you for the books that you have left us to study and to read. I thank you for allowing your life to be an example for us all, you know, to not so much about how you lived or how you died, but the way that one can express themselves